Hello, I'm Hannah Townsend.
And I'm Benedict Townsend.
I don't usually say hello.
You did a great job because it's quite difficult.
Thanks, I felt really stressed. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good too. Today, I'm going to be showing some interviews that I did for Girl Taken, starring Alfie Allen and Jill Halfpenny.
Jill Halfpenny.
Can I just say, if you are looking for a TV show where everything happens, I cannot recommend more Waterloo Road. Episode 1.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say Girl Taken. You can't be like, you're looking for a show that everything happens. Not this one. No. That sounds like you're doing a bit.
I'm also going to recommend Girl Taken.
That's so funny.
But in the lead up to Girl Taken and interviewing Jill Halfpenny, I started rewatching Waterloo Road. I am going to do that bit again.
We're here to talk about Superman. Now, if you're looking for the ultimate superhero film, Batman is a hell of a movie.
If you are looking for a TV show where everything happens, I cannot recommend more Waterloo Road. Episode 1, we've got a wedding with an affair.
Yes.
We've also got a car crash.
Yes.
With pupils. We've also got, there is a pupil's dad who punches a teacher and he ends up going to prison, and the teachers go to the prison to try and get him out and make him do a speech at the school. Like, it is Waterloo Road.
This is series 1, episode 1.
The storylines that happen in Waterloo Road are so wild, and I bet you people have their favourite crazy storylines from Waterloo Road.
Comment down below. This is, by the way, ostensibly a show about a school.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be about a school, which for years I thought the show was set in Waterloo, which is an area of London. Because there is a Waterloo Road next to Waterloo.
Yes.
But actually it's set in like Lancashire or something.
I think episode 2, they've got a pupil tied up in a classroom. Like, do you remember?
Yes.
They just get out the handcuffs and they're like, put these on.
Yeah.
We're like, why do they have handcuffs?
These are like 13-year-olds. They're like, put him in the handcuffs. Who has access to handcuffs? They're going to kill him or something?
Yeah, yes.
So funny.
I mean, I love Waterloo Road. It holds such a special place in my heart, and it's still going.
But Jill Halfpenny, Jill Halfpenny, is in Waterloo Road, or was in Waterloo Road for a long time.
Yeah, people will be, no spoilers, but Jill Halfpenny dies. Wait, that's a huge spoiler.
What are you doing? I don't know if anyone has misunderstood the phrase no spoilers more.
I thought I was saying, like, no spoilers as in turn off if you don't want this spoiled. They'll be gone. They'll understand the code.
No, never turn off. Never tell people to turn off.
Turn off. Don't rate us 5 stars.
No. Rate 5 stars, comment minion.
So in the lead up to interviewing Jill Halfpenny, who I love, by the way. I love Jill Halfpenny. She's been in so many things that I love. I mean, she has been on our tellies for nearly 40 years, I believe, which is absolutely crazy. Like, a true life in television and a love of television. She's done like a little bit of other stuff. She won the Olivier Award for Legally Blonde.
Yep.
I was buzzing to talk to Jill Halfpenny. I was buzzing to talk to Alfie Allen. We were talking about Girl Taken, which we watched over Christmas. We had a little Christmas puzzle in front of us. We were glued to it. I think go in if you know, to Girl Taken. It's not necessarily a mystery, which is a bit of the feedback I'm seeing. You're not like, what happens to this girl? And
She's taken.
This comes out in the interview of, it's very much, if you like kind of, I don't know, shows about the impacts of people and dynamics.
Yeah.
I would say it's very much a show that is unpacking what happens after something so awful like this happens.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle because it's sort of like there's so many shows about like a dramatic, awful thing happens and then the show just ends. Whereas this show takes the view of like, well, hold on, but what about after that? Do you know what I mean? It's more interested in, I mean, it covers the dramatic stuff and there's plenty of like true crime.
And it's incredibly dark.
Incredibly dark, but it's interesting to like think about the aftermath and everything.
So yeah, this was my first 2 interviews of 2026. First up, we are going to hear Jill Halfpenny. So Girl Taken, it's inspired by true crime.
Yes.
And true crime as a genre is only getting more and more popular. In your everyday life, do you like watch, read or listen to a lot of true crime?
I watch a fair amount of true crime docs, but I'm not one of those people who, you know, when you go onto Netflix, they're like things you've loved and it's just like a stream of true crime. So I wouldn't say that I watch it more than other things.
Yes.
But I do like a good true crime doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same. As long as they've solved the case.
Yeah.
I can't watch anything where it's like, and we never found out. And it's like
Yeah.
8 parts.
Yeah.
And we never found out.
Yeah. You're like, no.
Yeah,
no.
I need to know.
That's going to be in my head now for years.
This show is very dark and twisty and turny. It's brilliant, by the way. Are you, when you're watching like a film or TV show, are you good these days at like guessing a twist is coming?
No, I don't think I am. No, and no, I don't think I am actually. I wish I could say, oh yes. I mean, especially with things, you know, like a murder mystery or something. No, I don't think. I get very caught up in lots of other things. Yeah. So you know, some people when they're watching shows, they're extremely plot driven and they're always thinking about clothes. I'm like thinking, that was a good scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I like what they're wearing.
Yeah.
That's a good costume. Oh, the lighting's really good. And then I think I've lost it then. I'm like, what's happening?
So then you're a twist, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You're like, I was concentrating on the dress and the thing. I'm the same, yeah. I like to think I can pre-guess a twist and then it happens and I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Nowhere near.
I love telly and I have followed your career for like over 20 years now. I love your work. What's different about how you approach a role like this now versus when you first started out?
I'm not sure that there's a huge amount of difference, but obviously as I've got older and I've been given larger roles, it's just really nice to be able to plot your journey and your character. You know, in my 20s, I did a lot of popping in and out of shows. You pop in, you do a few scenes, you leave. All very nice and all great experience, but you're kind of there going, I need more. Like I want to do more. I've got so much more to give. So what's really nice now is that I can look at a role like Eve in Girl Taken and think, okay, this is a bit of a mountain to climb, but that's good. Like I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And in kind of this role, you give it's such an emotional performance. What's it like to kind of give that performance and then they yell cut? Do you take that home with you or can you kind of like leave it?
I think I'm quite good at leaving it. But then again, on that job in particular, I suppose I just went back to my apartment and ate scrambled eggs on toast usually. After a day like that, I usually want to go just somewhere quiet. I just want to be quiet. Yeah. I think you hear your voice a lot when you're acting and you get a bit sick of yourself. I think I'll probably just do that.
Yeah, it's the same with things like this, just watching yourself back all the time. Because also we edit all the clips. You're just watching yourself say the same lines over and over again.
It's sickening, isn't it?
Do you watch your stuff back?
Less nowadays.
Okay.
When I was younger, I would always watch the thing that I was in. Now, like say with something like this, because it is quite emotional and because it is quite intense, maybe less so. There's something about watching yourself kind of doing that and going through that feels a bit like icky.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit like, oh, not sure whether I want to watch myself do that. And also, you know, it is very true that once I've been told cut for the last time, it's out of my hands. It's kind of like it's just for people to watch now. Like my job is doing it. Yeah. And I should really stay out of the way after that.
Well, I mean, judging by the trailers that have dropped online, I mean, people are so excited for this. I think it's dropping at like a perfect time, like early January. Yeah. It's cold, it's snowing, and people need that kind of thing to watch.
Yes.
What do you think is the best thing about Girl Taken?
I think the idea that Holly brilliantly puts out in Baby Doll, the idea of what happens to a family after a crime like this is committed, I think that's an interesting thing to explore. Usually we spend a whole series building up to the crime and the crime happens and then maybe we end up with thinking, oh, what's going to happen? But in this series, we see the crime very early on and then once Lily returns, you might think as a viewer, oh, well, that's it now, she's home. And actually, there's so much to unpack that it just becomes a different type of nightmare. Yes. It's just a different nightmare. And you're like, oh no, like, we thought the nightmare was over, and now it's just different.
Yeah, I really like that narrative structure of kind of knowing quite early on and then
Yes.
seeing the impact of it. It's like a different take on this kind of show.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's less like gratuitous. We don't need to see the years and years and years and years of what happened. What we need to see is, how can somebody have a life? How can someone survive? Could somebody possibly thrive after something like that? You want to see what these type of people, what they're doing to their victims, and you want to see what the ripple effects of that are. And the ripple effects are huge. Like I think they're much wider than even just the sort of close family.
I want to end on a note. You're a fellow podcaster, and I've watched a lot of your stuff where you give brilliant advice, and I love the advice you give. Moving forward into the new year, do you have kind of one piece of advice that's taking you forward?
When I started, 2026, I made a promise to myself that I want to be as brave as possible when it comes to choosing roles, but also that I want to really absorb more culture and art, because I know everyone says this, but the scrolling and the phone, to say that it steals your attention is such a huge understatement, that I'm like, you will not in 2026 control my life. I'm going to go out and I'm going to see people, or I'm going to listen to things, even if it's just listening to an album that you haven't listened to for a while. I just sort of thought, I want to fill myself up with things that make me feel good after I've watched or listened to them, rather than, well, that's an hour of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a book that I'm now carrying around like a sort of prop, that I'm like, I'm going to get through this in 2026. People keep asking me how's the book, and I'm yet to read a page, but it's there. It's there.
It's going to happen.
I think that's one step forward of bringing the book with you versus it being at home. So I have
there's one other thing I've got as well. And actually, I was talking about this today. I am on a mission to find a really brilliant petite brand of clothing.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm concerned, a lot of petite clothes, not all of them, they seem to think that if you're petite, you want to wear little tight sweaters and dress like Karen Millen in the 90s. And it's like, no, I like oversized things. I like knitwear. I like baggy pants. I just want them in the right proportions for a petite person. So that's my mission. If anyone knows of a really cool petite brand, please let me know.
I'll put it out. I'm sure people will know of a great petite brand.
There must be. And I really think there's business there, because the amount of money us petite girls spend getting things
tailored,
taken up. Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't work because the proportions of something are all off.
Yeah.
So even if you get the length taken up, it's still an odd proportion on your body. And also people think petite means small. It doesn't. It's just like as in 5'3" and under, but it's nothing to do with your size or your weight, okay?
Yes.
So let's stop talking like that as well.
What height are you?
I'm 5'3", and everyone thinks I'm tall.
Yeah, you read quite tall.
Yeah.
I've only seen you
I
from
am wearing
coming in.
heels,
Okay.
but people think I'm tall all the time. So yeah, petite brands.
Petite brands. Noted. Is that the same? You might be the same height as Sabrina Carpenter.
Is she 5'3"?
I think she might be. I'm looking around the room.
I think
No one
she
knows.
knows any petite brand.
We'll put it. I'm sure she'll comment on this.
I think she'll get back to me. I definitely think she'll be watching this.
This has been such a joy. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm a
you.
huge fan. So it's lovely chatting
thanks
to you.
so much.
Not a whole penny was heard in that interview.
And I mean, if you do know any petite clothing brands, in the room, there's a bit at the end I ask her, you've actually not seen the full interview, there's a bit at the end where I ask her any advice going into 2026, and she says she's looking for petite clothing brands. And she says she's 5'3" or 5'4" in it. And I'm like, is that the same height as Sabrina Carpenter? And then I was looking around the room at all these cameramen who were like, I think actually Sabrina Carpenter's like 4 foot, isn't she?
She's like 4'9" or something.
Oh,
she's
is she?
I think she's really, really petite. Well, it's funny that Jill is like 5'3" or whatever. It follows the theory that actors are always very small. I always say this, actors are tiny.
I said that to her. I said, you read tall. And I assume it's because I've seen her in so many things, but everyone else is also short. So she doesn't look small.
Yeah, this is also true of male actors. I mean, I think Vince Vaughn is famously 6'1", and he's the tallest man in Hollywood. If you're over 6 foot as an actor, you either have to be an Arnold, where that's your thing, that you're The Rock, you're comically huge because you're 6'2", or you just won't make it. You have to be. Everyone is like a little bird in Hollywood.
And I'm the monster on the hill.
Yes,
As
you
a good
are.
friend of mine, once said.
Well, no, because you're like Taylor Swift.
And next up, we have Alfie Allen.
Lock in. We'll be here for like an hour and a half. Sweet. It's lovely to meet you. Hi, I'm Hannah.
Nice to meet you, Hannah.
This show, it's inspired by true crime, which as a genre is only getting more and more popular. In your everyday life, do you like read or listen or watch a lot of true crime?
Yeah, over the years, yeah. The Jinx was one that I was a big fan of. The Aaron Hernandez story, I was a big fan of when that kind of came out. I've been watching the Diddy documentary. Yeah, for sure. True crime stuff is something that interests me.
I tend to listen to true crime podcasts as I'm going to sleep because I find that like it's quite monotone in its in its storytelling. So there's not big like, and then this happened. It's all like this, and it helps me ish. Although I sleep very badly.
Oh, okay.
So,
I like
so there's
that.
a top tip.
No, yeah, I like that. I like that.
This show, I think it's got a lot of great kind of twists. It's very dark, very twisty. When you're watching like a film or television program, how good are you at like anticipating a twist?
Not that good.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of try and sort of. I used to try and go, oh yeah, this is happening, that's happening. But nowadays, I like to just kind of just absorb and just kind of just switch anything on. Whereas I think before I used to be a little bit like, oh, I don't know if I can handle that, this and that. But now I'll watch anything, really. And that's what I've been doing lately. Interesting. I like to kind of watch things that maybe at one point I kind of had a certain opinion on. And I might have thought, oh, that's not that good. And then I'll watch it 3 or 4 years later and have a completely different experience. And so that interests me. I'm always like, why did I feel that certain way about something? And now I feel completely different about it. So
you hadn't watched it, but you had like heard the buzz.
No. Like
You
I
have
have watched
watched
something.
it?
I have watched something like 3 or 4
Interesting.
years ago, and then I've given it another go, and it's kind of mad
Yeah.
to go like, I have a completely different response to that than to what I did so
3
long
or 4
ago.
years ago.
Yeah, which is
That's
mad.
really interesting. Go back to it at a different time. I find like the pressure when someone's like, you're going to love it, and then you start it and you don't instantly love it.
Yeah.
That stress of trying to get into something.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Although it's kind of like, it's like it's like reading a book, isn't it? You just sometimes you're like, I'm not enjoying this, and then you do persevere.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay, I've trained myself into this now. And it becomes enjoyable.
As an actor, what is it like to play a character that is just completely evil? Did you manage to find any sort of humanity in him?
If I'm kind of coming from that viewpoint of it and just like, I've got to find some humanity in this character. It's not really, just feel like I'm kind of clambering for something.
Yeah.
So if it happens, it happens. Do you know what I mean? Equally, kind of, if you can kind of go even in the other direction and go darker than what you kind of thought that you wanted to. And that's all about the kind of other people on set and kind of how you're responding to them and what they're doing and not thinking about it too much. So if I come at it kind of going, I want to make this character human, it's I'm just affected. There were moments, without a doubt, when I was doing Girl Taken, where I didn't plan on getting to a certain point or doing something, especially in the basement stuff with Tally, and we shot all of that in like 10 days or something. In fact, even less than that, because it was done location by location. We kind of did everything all in blocks, and it was. I didn't think it would be as beneficial as it was to do it that way, and it was, and that is primarily down to Tally, because we really did get a vibe going, and she was totally just up for anything, and it was we made each other comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Which she made me comfortable. I hope I made her comfortable, but we just had a good rapport on set. So it was even though it was dark, and when you're on a set like that and there are very dark things happening, I think it is just as important to make things light, but not force that. Do you know what I mean? Or otherwise, it's like everything's all right, but it's. Tally was just great to work with, as was everyone in it, really. Neve, Delphi, and Jill. As soon as I did my first scene with Jill, I was just like, okay, cool. This is what we're doing. So it was great.
Honestly, through the screen, it feels like you've got that connection, even though it is such a dark show. Like for a January release, it's like, you know, people are going to be inside watching this.
I know. I got told it was a Christmas release at first. I was like, what?
I watched it over Christmas. I was doing a Christmas puzzle.
Oh, wow.
It was next to me as I was watching it, and I was like, this is dark, and I was hooked. I loved your kind of take on the performance. It's very dark, but very interesting to watch. I was like reading through the comments on a lot of the kind of social clips that have gone out, and people are so excited to see you in this.
Oh, amazing.
How do you feel in this interim before something gets released?
You know, I'm just excited. You know, I'm kind of, I'll sound a bit more excited. No, I am. I am excited. I mean, look, it is about the victim stories, this show, you know. It's I'm excited to see how how their performances are viewed, you know, rather than my own, because it's it was just great without trying to sound like I'm too kind of separated from the process of when I'm doing it, but to see them do what they were doing was everyone. It was really great. It was really good.
I will leave you there, but thank you so much. It was really lovely chatting to you.
You too.
Yeah, thank you.
Alfie Allen, flip it around. Alan Alfie.
Anyway, those were my interviews. They're my first interviews of 2026. If you're watching Girl Taken, let me know what you think.
Are you taken with it? Girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, you taken? I like the bit where, in the show, where they go, I'm a girl, and I've got a particular set of skills. Girly skills that make me a girl nightmare for people like you.
What are girly skills then?
Listening.